To our last live daily workout. It's Industry Insights and Future Predictions Week. We are blessed to have Simon Bliss and Andy Dunne from the Team Network. Reason why we're blessed is that it was your company Christmas do last night, wasn't it, gentlemen? How are you feeling?
Oh, ready to go. Wonderful.
Show us what you're drinking, Andy.
Diet Coke at 5 to 9 in the morning. So
always a giveaway. Always a giveaway. For those that don't know me, I'm Angela Cripps, the MD of the Recruiting Gym. This is number 946 of our daily workout. We've been doing this since the day of lockdown. Bringing you insights, bringing you information, something you can take away 10-15 minutes, although I know it's not going to be today. Fridays tend to go a little bit longer. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have a question for the gentlemen, please let us know. Their links are in the chat. If you're over on LinkedIn, unfortunately, our Charlotte is not very well this morning. So I would urge you to come over to Crowdcast. The link is there for you to come and join us here in the chat and join the 1,064 other people that have signed up for the daily workout. Right, let's get into it. First and foremost, for those that don't know, Andy, what is Team?
Team is the UK's largest network of independently owned recruitment businesses. So we've got just over 500 businesses in the network and about 80 suppliers, recruitment suppliers. And we run networking events all around the country. We have our own social media platform called the Team Hub. And we've got a job sharing platform where about £6 million worth of fees get generated between independent companies working together.
I love this. It's all about collaboration in Team, isn't it? And Simon, you've got a birthday next year, I believe.
Yes, it's our 30th. So, you know, obviously I was there at the beginning. No, I wasn't.
I was there at the beginning, actually. I remember Team being set up because I was one of those big nationals that they were set up to be against. And we were like, who are these little upstarts?
Well, that's fab. And thank you. As you know, I haven't been in recruitment that long, and not as long as you two anyway. But Team, it's our 30th birthday. It's going to be we're going to celebrate that big style at our 10th conference up at Chesterford Grange in Warwick. Really looking forward to you being there as well and your wonderful team. But we're going to really push the boat out for that birthday.
Yeah, our team is all about collaboration as well. I can see Alan's in there already. There with the dog mug, Simon. Is that?
I did notice that. I was trying to ignore him.
Anthony McCormack as well. You've been on our Ask the Coach a few times. So thank you for joining us this morning. You are all welcome. We are here, first and foremost, to look back at 2023 and to see how well did Simon do with his predictions. Because, Andy, you've joined Team this year. Mm-hmm. So I thought it'd be a good idea for you to actually grade how Simon's done on his predictions. So we had 4 last year. I must admit, when I looked at this, Simon, you were in
I was so younger.
You were in the Blue Mountains, weren't you? Up in outside of Melbourne, is it?
Yeah, I was. I was in the Blue Mountains north of Sydney.
Oh, north of Sydney, yeah. So oh God, so jealous at the time. So here we are for 2023 on what we said was going to happen. Oh, sorry, click the wrong button. There you go. It's me doing it wrong today. Instead of hide the screen, I clicked stop sharing, which is not what I was meant to do. There we go. Hopefully I can get it right this time. So your first prediction then, Andy, how's he done? Business owners having a better understanding of how they can make business more profitable, focus on the things you're good at, look at the pillars of your business. Growth strategies to drive profit will be essential. It was all about profit this year, wasn't it? So what do you think?
I give that a solid B, Mr. Bliss.
Is B good?
B is good. We've had a few D's this week, only a few A's actually that was spot on. But I do think it was all about profit and cost savings. So Simon, what are your thoughts?
I thought it would be a better year if I look back broadly. I think it turned into a really tough one for a lot of the industry, and candidate behaviour changed. You know, people struggled to, you know, when there was jobs, they really struggled to bring really good talent to the table, and relying on the job boards, which is important, but wasn't good enough. You know,
Yeah.
far more creative outreach was needed to the passive space, and I don't think the market got hold of that. So I think that's key for 24.
Definitely.
I'll give that a B minus.
B minus. All right. Okay. What about 2? Hike in salaries. Business owners need to pay top dollar for new talent after the candidate shortage we have. Well, this goes for agencies as well, doesn't it, Andy? Your thoughts?
Yeah. I think this is like a C minus.
Oh.
I don't think
Really?
salaries have been hiked anywhere near in this year than they were last year. So I don't think that trend continued personally, but what do you think, Simon? How do you grade yourself?
I think you're right. I think I think in 22 employers were panicking, and they were really paying top dollar, and I think it all settled down a bit, and there were some companies that took on a load of talent, and then that talent didn't really deliver to the level that they were expecting, and they were offloading again. But I don't think that scores as high as number 1. Yeah, I'd agree. But I think Angela's right. If you're looking at, you know, building your own teams, I think people were shifting how they were employing or incentivizing talent into the recruitment in their own businesses. I think quite a lot of companies gave their consultants and team leaders and managers higher basics, and just put some and just tone down the commission structure, but gave people a real much higher basic so that they could get better mortgages and stuff like that when things were really tough on the mortgage front.
Well, I think that was one of the key things, wasn't it? With inflation sort of at the end of last year at 12%, it definitely had an impact on salary reviews. So maybe it was the end of last year rather than this year, but people couldn't sustain their standard of living without that. And of course, we saw a lot of the unions agreeing large salary increases this year. So from a sort of public sector point of view, that definitely did happen with the hike in salary.
Right. Let's go up again. That could be a B. That could be a C plus.
I think they went up, but I don't think they were hiked. They weren't giant jumps. I mean, I was in house last year. I saw some crazy jumps in salary from, you know, people that are earning 30, 35 grand, getting 50, 55 grand to move. I don't think businesses have seen those kind of jumps this year, though.
Yeah,
so I'm sticking to my C minus. Sorry, Simon.
They were nuts, but for someone that's the mother of a paramedic, they were very grateful, and a best friend of a GP. That their salary was actually, she hadn't had a salary increase in 15 years, as a GP's hadn't. So I mean, yeah. Anyway, that's another show that I'll be telling everyone about. We're going to be doing a new podcast that will look into the politics, the economics, the sociological things. We're going to do a pestle show in hiring happenings. We'll come back to that another time. Right. Number 3, technology and emphasis on CRM systems and recruitment software need to be more organised.
Solid A. Definitely.
We've got an A. And Andy, what have you used to help you grade these?
I used ChatGPT Plus that I got on Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. when I woke up after the national executive meeting at Chesford Grange. So ChatGPT said the reliance on technology, especially on CRMs, has been significant for business organisations and efficiency, with many companies investing more into tech to streamline their operations. But didn't really need it, to be honest, because this is one of the key things that members talk about all the time in team, especially at the kind of face-to-face networking meetings and breakout rooms. Most businesses have swapped their CRM in the last couple of years, and that was the kind of flavour that we've heard. But obviously, AI has come along so far. We had LinkedIn at our meeting on Wednesday this week, and we also had RecTech on the meeting. And they were saying that in most CRMs now, there's some kind of AI baked into them, and they're just going to get more and more efficient. So I think that was a solid prediction, Simon. And
can I have an A+? Do people get
you can have an A+. You can have an A+.
Well done on that one. Alan's just put a question in there, so I'm just going to bring it up on the screen for you. So with these predictions, were you thinking of what you'd like to happen or what you thought will happen? So Simon, over to you.
With those, I thought it was what would happen.
That was the aim, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And again, let's try. Yeah, I mean, he's saying it's hard not to try and spread some optimism, and certainly we're seeing that, but we're also seeing a lot of realism this week as well. So we'll come to that in 1 second after we've done number 4. A recession that some industries will thrive in. Industries, manufacturing, engineering, executive will all have better opportunities than the blue collar side. Oh, okay.
Well, I think that. Well, manufacturing and engineering is a broad church, and we had members that were killing it in some sectors, and others that had their head in their hands for a few months, and unfortunately, one of those, I won't mention the name, shared with us that if it hadn't been for some of the job sharing that she was able to do within some of the other team members, they might have closed the doors this summer, because it just died in that particular area of their sector. But it was a mixed bag. But temps were down. I spoke to the lovely people, some bigger members that we have with 100 million plus turnover, mainly in temps. Temps were down between 20 and 35% to the companies I was talking to. So that was tough. And then there was a lot of talk and bullishness in the market that people would use temp and contract because that wouldn't give them the commitment. And it wasn't the case. It was tough and has continued to be tough.
Yeah, we've had other industry leaders. Australia was interesting on Monday with Charles Cameron. Perm's taken a big chunk out, but the temp and contractors was up and about 105%, I believe, of where they were in 2019. So actually, it was a better year. But
I think what you're doing, Angela, I think is right. People, and we talked about that before, haven't we? Don't keep looking at the last year or two. It's been mental. Look at 2019 before COVID, and that's a better barometer on where you are now, because things were moving along at 2020, 21, 22 was all a bit weird. So there we go.
Okay. So let's come to the new guard, as it were. And Andy, predictions then for 2024. What do you think is going to happen this year?
So these aren't written by AI, by the way. I just want to clarify that before
because we challenged him in the green room. Going, have you got AI to write your predictions?
No, I promise you, no one.
Why not?
Even with my hangover, no, I didn't use it. I promise. But so this is something that I learned about only in the last couple of weeks. But email and e-marketing is going to change big time next year.
Good.
So Google and Yahoo are changing the way that emails are being sent, authenticated, and unsubscribed from. And I did look in the stats of this. Apparently, 300 billion emails are sent every day, and 81% of them are classed as spam. And they want to change that. So I feel like half of them do go into my inbox, team. But so that's going to be my first prediction: is that e-marketing is going to change completely. So that's prediction 1. Are you making predictions as well, Simon, or is it just me?
Well, I just want to challenge that prediction. Where's it going? Is it going up? Is it going down? What's going to happen to it?
It's going to have to change. I was chatting to someone at our meeting on Wednesday. He works in e-marketing, and he was telling me that if it was us, he would register as many domain names as physically possible with the team in network in them, if we're going to continue with e-marketing, because you can get blocked on them. If you get blacklisted on them, you're in trouble. So I think that's something that people are really going to have to think about next year if they use e-marketing as an outreach tool for candidate or client business development.
I think it should be part of the toolbox. I don't think you should rely on it. I think it should be part of your marketing strategy, and it always proved good for us and for some of our members as well. If it's a part of that tool, don't rely on it completely.
Okay. Number 2.
Continued move from in-house talent acquisition back to agency or setting up agencies. So we've actually had quite a few new members join us in the last month or two that are setting up on their own. They've learned everything they've learned in the in-house space. It's quite interesting. A lot of them are using ATSs rather than CRMs because they know that candidate experience. So I think that's going to continue over the course of next year as well. So that's my prediction number 2.
Yeah, I got to speak to a few of them on Wednesday, and you've got people with sort of 17, 23 years experience. So we're seeing that as well, that people are, and it's always the way, isn't it? When the recession hits, everyone, or when it slows down, everyone goes in-house. And then as soon as it looks like it's going to open up, people that are brave jump first. So these people that are going ahead of the curve, but come Q2, Q3, I bet we'll see even more of that. So that'll be interesting to see whether that works or not. Are you all right, Simon?
I'm good. I'm really pleased that the pressure's off me and it's on him now, and I can see us sitting here in a year and me giving him D- or something like that.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Go on then, Andy. What else you got?
Yeah. So I've also got the focus on personal branding being really, really key, especially with this change in emails as well. You know, being able to stand out from the crowd. I mean, this is one of the main topics of conversation that we've had in all of our networking meetings in Q3 and Q4 is just being different and being human in a world where everybody's using AI to write everything, standing out, you know, recording videos, even if they're not professionally done, but getting your personality in front of your candidates and your clients. So I think personal branding, outreach, meeting people, it's going to be absolutely crucial in 2024.
So that was probably key to 3-4 years ago, wasn't it? It was a big push on that. And we got to know people so much better. And you're right, that's drifted away again. And LinkedIn hasn't helped because they've taken away those options or the algorithm they've adapted so that those personal posts aren't as much. And everyone I've spoken to, the old adage of LinkedIn isn't Facebook has gone. We love to see the interesting stuff. The one flashed up this morning, someone's just had a baby, and you just think, yes, let's share some of those personal stories that are really positive. Why not? So, yeah, I'm all up for that if that's going to be one of the trends for next year. Let's all get to know each other again a little bit more. Right. What's your next one?
Well, this is actually the last one, but it's following on from that, is that people are seeking out recruitment networks and connections. I mean, we've had over 60, 65 inbound requests for information to join us in the last 4 or 5 weeks, which is really high. And people are looking to get out of their offices, see people. You know, actually, I think it was a podcast I was listening to, Hung Lee and the REC with Neil Carberry, he was saying that, you know, we stare at a screen almost like exclusively all day long. And the value that you get when you actually get out and meet people and talk about the market and talk about your business and talk about your challenges, you can get so much more. So I think that networking, collaboration are going to get, you know, they're going to be on fire next year. And we're really, really ready for that intake and all those new members to come and join us and get involved in our party as well. So that's my fourth and final prediction.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Even from a personal level, I've not been doing what I was doing pre-COVID. It definitely changed my approach to work, and I've certainly been a lot more insulated online, as it were, connecting everywhere and collaborating. And obviously we've got the 12 coaches and building all of that. But you're right, 2024 for me, you can't quite see it on here, but year of the travel. That was my word yesterday in our coaching session, getting back out there and meeting people. And again, we saw it on Wednesday. And what joy it brought people, just getting together. Admittedly, there was alcohol by the end, but It makes a difference.
0% Guinness for me, though. 0%.
There's a theme with team, isn't there? Right, okay. We do like a bit of alcohol. Simon, what would you like to add to that to finish off our year?
Well, the one thing I wouldn't don't panic the SME market. The wonderful thing about the REC and the SIA is they give amazing data predictions on where the market's going, and I think that's really relevant for enterprise businesses. But if you're in the SME space, you're a solo up to about 50 in your team. Don't get depressed by what the market prediction is going to be like, because you can beat the market. You can really beat the market easily. And don't follow any depressive news about interest rates and market sliding and candidates.
Positive this week. That's what I'm going to mention that today. I'm on the Andy Foote show, the US AF, and yesterday, we got all positive news from the US and the UK. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I just think if you're smaller businesses are more nimble, they're more active, they're more flexible. You to get more business, you've just got to be a little bit more energetic, more creative with your outreach. Those candidate that I mentioned it earlier, the candidate behavior has changed. So let's get really creative about just approaching other candidates, potential passive candidates better. Mitch Sullivan, who does some work with us, is bangs the drum for that and brilliantly, because a lot of recruiters are a bit formulaic about how they construct a job ad and outreach, and they've got to do that better. But I think I see some good stuff happening with some of our members who've been sitting down in December going, right, who traded with us this year? Who didn't trade with this year? And there's 20 clients. Let's make sure that December and January we re-engage with the people that didn't trade. And looking at the value of what clients have spent this year and thinking, how can I, the average bill invoice value was £7,000. How can we make that 8? So people like your John Brooks are brilliant for getting people to choose good, better, best. And some of our members have used John and moved their average fee value from 17.5 to nearly 20%. Just by adopting those principles. So I think, how do you get your average fee up? How do you engage with those existing clients first to get them to spend more? Have the conversations that you've advised us to have, Angela, in January. Mr. Client, what's your hiring like for this year? Not what's your hiring like in this month. What's your plans for this year? Where's the strategy going? When do we'll start working on talent for you now that you might need in June. So I think that's really important. Yeah, no, really important. It's interesting you mentioned Mitch Sullivan there. He was the first person that I reached out to when I was thinking about this new podcast, because it is the industry insights. Because doing this, I love this week, but I want to do it all year. So once a month, we'll be doing a podcast with people that are outspoken. Hence why I spoke to Mitch first. Ideas. So looking forward to that. There'll be more news on that soon. Okay, last comment on there then. Maybe that is our end of 2023 phrase. Please create a post with that, Simon. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Which a lot of our audience will be like, we have no idea what you're talking about. We'll put the link into it, and you'll know what we're talking about. It was Dad's Army a long time ago, but I still use that phrase. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. It is, isn't it? Well, don't tell him, Pike. Okay, that way. There's lots of young people in the market that have no idea who you're talking about. So, but we need to re-educate them on Dave to watch. We will, but that's our job, isn't it? To educate everyone in our industry. So whatever that comes from. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it was tough this morning. You did really well. Clicking link. It was tough, but I think we should thank you. Team should thank you and the recruiting gym for the contribution you've made to our members and educating them and honing their skills this year. It's been brilliant. So thank you very much, Angela. Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
I echo that as well. Thank you.
Have a wonderful Christmas or holiday season, everyone. Next week, we've got our top 5 of the year. So the top viewed daily workouts of the year will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 next week, and then we go dark for a week or so. So we'll see you in the new year. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.